Previously, I did a video titled Easy DIY Toilet Repair. That video details replacing the water tank flush components after they were failing. I'll put links to that video up on the top right of your screen and down in the description. In that video, I didn't show changing out the toilet shutoff valve and supply line, but I should have. That's because many times, if the tank parts are old and failing, there's a good chance that the shutoff valve has become corroded and inoperable and also needs to be replaced. So today, while making another toilet repair, this time in our half bath, I'll show you how easy it is to replace the shutoff valve and the supply line by using the SharkBite push-to-connect water valve. This old valve, like the other one that I did, is also corroded and stuck in the open position. With the magic of video, this is what the end result is going to look like. Our plumbing, like many others, is half-inch copper. SharkBite is available in many different pipe sizes and is also available for PEX tubing. First, you're going to want to determine what type of valve to use. If your supply line comes out of the wall, like this one, you're probably going to want to use an angle valve like this one so the supply line goes straight up towards the tank. If, however, your supply line comes straight up out of the floor, SharkBite makes a straight line version of this valve which angles the connector straight up towards the tank. When you're using the typical SharkBite water valve for half-inch copper lines, the standard connector for the supply line is going to be a 3/8 inch compression fitting. So you're going to want to get a flexible braided supply line with a 3/8 inch compression fitting on the valve end, and most likely a typical 7/8 inch plastic ball cock fitting, which is standard on most toilets. Both of these fitting connectors are easily installed. To determine the length of the braided supply line that you need, measure from the top of your old valve supply line fitting to the 7/8 fitting on the underside of the tank. Then add a couple inches for bending and shaping. Now, shut off the water supply to the bathroom. This may be the main valve in the house if there are no separate zone valves. Then, it's best if you can open the cold water on a faucet downstairs of the bathroom that you're working on. This will drain most of the water that remains in the plumbing line around the stub out for the toilet. As an alternative, you could open an outdoor faucet, which is going to be lower than the stub out in the first floor bathroom. Flush the toilet while keeping the handle held down to remove the majority of the water from the tank. You can soak up the remainder of the water with a sponge. If you were able to open a lower faucet to drain the line, just place a towel under the old valve to catch any drips. If you couldn't open a lower faucet, place a container under the old valve to catch the drainage. Now you can remove the old supply line and valve. Because of the tight quarters in this half bath, I went ahead and removed the water tank to give me more working room. I needed to do this anyway to replace the tank components like I did in the last video. If you're only going to replace the water valve and the supply line, you can disregard having to remove the water tank. If your old valve is a compression fitting, use a couple of wrenches to back off the compression nut. If your old valve is soldered on like this one, you'll have to use a pipe cutter, and to cut the pipe, try to get it as close to the valve as possible beyond any solder buildup. A small pipe cutter like this one works great in tight spaces. If you had to cut the pipe, you'll need to take a deburring tool and get the burrs off the end of the pipe. Then take a pipe brush and clean off about the first inch of the pipe. Then take some plumber's cloth and clean that end of the pipe off with that. Then measure in an inch from the end of the pipe and put a mark there for the depth of the SharkBite connection. You can remove the 3/8 inch compression nut and sleeve from the SharkBite valve, as they're not going to be needed. That 1 inch mark is the correct distance for 1/2 inch SharkBite connectors on copper. So get it positioned and push it until it reaches the stopping point. With the new valve installed, you want to check for any leaks now before you install the supply line. So first, before you turn the water back on, make sure the valve is closed. This is the closed position when it's 90 degrees from the supply line. Now you can close any faucets that you opened and turn the water back on to the bathroom. With no visible leaks, go ahead and install the supply line. First, tighten the 3/8 inch compression nut until it's hand tight. Then, using 2 wrenches, tighten the compression nut another 1/4 to 1/2 turn. To install the supply line to the tank, hand tighten only the 7/8 inch plastic connector. That's it. Now you can open the new SharkBite valve, flush the toilet, and check for any leaks on the supply line. To give the installation a finished look, I replaced the old escutcheon wall plate with a new one. This type of plate with a split on one side can be installed after installing the valve. I also installed the decorative sleeve that comes with the SharkBite valve. It too has a split in it, so you can install it last. So I hope you found the video to be helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button, which really helps out the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.